So we're now over halfway through the year. I have the halfway mark as July 3rd. That's just what I have it as. I'm going to say my favourites of the year so far. This is in alphabetical order just because some things might change depending on how I feel about a film later in the year. Once I've had a chance to rewatch stuff. But let's just get right into this list. So in alphabetical order, obviously, as I just said. First off, A Quiet Place Day 1. I really like this. The horror prequel starring Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. Yeah, I really liked it. Loved how personal it felt. There were parts that almost, there were genuinely some parts that almost made me cry in this. Very tense. Worth checking out. There's a poster for it right there. It's worth checking out in cinemas. It's really good. Its sound design is so great and worth seeing. Next is Challengers from Luca Guadagnino. Now I will say that this is my favorite of the year. I absolutely love it. Everything about it I fucking love. The performances. Mwah. The cinematography. Mwah. The score. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The score. I can't talk about how much I fucking love the score. I still listen to it. I love it. It's incredible. I'm not sure what else can top this. I'm not sure what else I can say about it other than how much I fucking love it. Hey, it's fucking incredible. I love it. I saw it 4 times when it came out. I saw it twice. I saw it 3 times in just over a week. I think, sorry, no, just under a week. So that proves how much I fucking love it. Yeah, Challengers, incredible. Next is Civil War, the A24 survival drama. I liked it. I liked how much it showed the horrors of the war. Like, no matter what side you're on, war is really bad. And I really liked that it was showing that. And I like the performances. Specifically, Kaylee Spaney, I thought she was great. She played that really, like, naive new journalist very well. That kind of one that's like, hey, I can do what I want, hey. But, and Kirsten Dunst as well. She was very fucking good. Yeah, I think it's a great film. It's worth watching. Its sound design is really horrifying. Its sound design is horrifying, and I think it's really worth watching. Dune Part 2, the biggest cinematic event of the year so far. Yeah, I love this movie. Seeing an IMAX opening day was just something special, something that it's never gonna be topped this year. The story and technical elements were fantastic. There were a few moments that genuinely took my breath away. I think Denis Villeneuve really made something incredible here. I literally have a poster for it. You can't see it, but Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya are staring. So is bald Austin Butler staring right at me right now. Yeah, it's just such a good movie. Like, there's so much about it that I love. It's all the technical aspects are incredible. This is for sure going to be a big Oscar thing going forward. I'm not sure about the other ones I've mentioned, but this for sure is an Oscar thing. Next is Furiosa. Now, I didn't love this as much as everyone else did. There was a few things that did hold it back for me. Don't think it's a masterpiece, but it is very good. Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth are really good. I like the scope of it was great, and the action scenes were incredible. But it does have some pacing issues, and its CGI held it from being on the level of Fury Road for me. But I still think it's a very worth watching movie. It's very worth it. It's great. A lot of these things are just, it's great. Hey, what can I say? It's great. But yeah, I thought this was a really good movie. Next is Hitman. Glenn Powell's best role to date. I saw this back in October, and I've been firmly on this movie's hype train since then. Patiently waiting for its release. And it's finally on Netflix now. This is hilarious. I love how completely off the rails it goes. It's a complete blast. It just is. It's so good. It's so entertaining. It's so entertaining. It's so worth watching. Netflix do not deserve this because it's actually a good movie. But, Hitman. Next is Inside Out 2, the Pixar sequel, taking the box office by storm right now. Yeah, I thought this was great. It's a very logical sequel. I feel like some Pixar movies can't really justify their existence. But this was great. It felt like a logical step forward for this franchise, and some really incredible moments that made me cry. The animation's incredible. And yeah, I really liked this movie. It's so fucking good. Next is I Saw the TV Glow. Now, this hasn't hit UK cinemas yet. July 26th it comes out. This was something special. Really something special. It's so involved with the trans experience, and despite not being trans, I still felt what it was trying to do. I loved all the stuff it's doing with nostalgia as well, and how what we watched can shape us in a way. The performances, Bridget Lundy Payne and Justice Smith, are really good. It's got some really disturbing and gut-wrenching moments. This is not what people are going to expect. I haven't seen its trailer, but I've heard it's not that good. I've heard it's very different from what the movie actually is. But I will still be checking this when it comes to cinemas again because I loved it. Next is Love Lies Bleeding, the lesbian crime thriller from Rose Glass. I saw this at the Glasgow Film Festival back in February. I have not seen it since. The crowd was incredibly into it, as was I. I got to ask a question at the Q&A, so that was cool. I was very front row. Rose Glass said hi to me, looked me directly in the face. I was like, oh my god. Some very gnarly scenes, some great performances. There are some gnarly scenes in this. I really liked where it ended up going. I could definitely tell why some people don't like the ending, but I loved the ending personally. I was like, wow, this is great. I was in it from the first moment it started. I didn't want it to end. And yeah, so worth it. So worth it. So worth watching. And next is, I think the last on this list, is Monkey Man. This is actually just outside my top 10, because there's a movie in this list that isn't out yet that I will mention in a second. So I decided not to talk about that movie, but Monkey Man is a great movie. Dev Patel, it's just great in his direction. His performance is great as well. The script does have some issues, but I thought the action was great. I think the way it's going about its story is pretty good. I love what it's doing with the, just everything. The action, the cinematography is great. You can tell Dev Patel really cares about what he's bringing to life here. And yeah, I think this is a really good movie. I think most people will have I think there's maybe some pacing issues as well with this one. But Monkey Man's a really good movie. I have not seen it since I first saw it, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it since I first saw it either, because there's a lot of moments that... There's some kills in this that are really brutal, and I loved them. So moving on to some honourable mentions. Now, the movie that wasn't on this list that isn't out yet, I mean, it was on the list that isn't out yet, is A Real Pain, directed by Jesse Eisenberg. It's such a good movie. I paid 20 quid to watch this online at Sundance, and it was so worth it. And a fucking incredible performance from Kieran Culkin. A great screenplay from Jesse Eisenberg. I cried at this. I cried quite a bit at this, and it's very short. It's like an hour and 20-something minutes. It went by. It fucking sped by. Watch it when it's out. I think it's October in the US. Fucking January in the UK. So I hope to watch this at a film festival or an early screening, because... It's annoying we have to wait till January for that one, but I hope to rewatch this at some point this year. So getting on to some honourable mentions now. The Fall Guy. It's messy. It goes off the rails, but I had a fucking blast watching Ryan Gosling on screen. He's so charismatic. I think he's brilliant. I love Ryan Gosling. And next is Abigail. It's a very enjoyable movie. Lots of great comedy. Very funny. Once again, it goes a bit weird with its ending, but I still really liked it. I had a fucking blast watching it. Next is Lisa Frankenstein, a great callback to 80s Tim Burton films with a really good campy tone, a lot of laughs. Didn't really know much of what to expect from this one, but I ended up really liking it. And for the last honourable mention, I'm going to say Snack Shack. A really good buddy hangout movie that feels like it could be from Richard Linklater. I think Paramount fumbled the ball with that one and just releasing it straight to streaming in March. As it could have been a great summer movie. It felt perfect to watch in the summer, because I watched it like a few weeks ago. And I'd check this out. It's really worth it. That's it for my favourites of the year so far. I look forward to what the rest of the year has to offer. What are some of your favourites so far? Goodbye.